Here we go, folks, starting 11 prediction time once again for tomorrow's trip to Hamilton. We come into this one off the back of a brilliant first half performance up in Perth on Wednesday. I thought we were superb, probably up there with the best 45 minutes we've played all season. Absolutely brilliant, moved the ball so quickly, looked really good in that 3-5-2 formation. Edouard and Griffiths linked up fantastically, and we scored 3 really good goals. Okay, a drop off in the second half, but a good win for us. 3 points, and on to the next one. It's Hamilton. It's back to the plastic pitch after just having played Kilmarnock there last week. We know these games can be difficult for us. If you think back to the last game with Hamilton at Celtic Park, okay, we started with Morgan up front and we were struggling a little bit with injuries, but we were 1-0 up and we let the game drift, and we let it drift, and then Hamilton grabbed a last minute equaliser, and it looked like we were going to drop needless points until Scott Brown came up with that brilliant winner. So we can't really let the game drift tomorrow. We can't give Hamilton oxygen in the game. I would like to see us start the same way we did on Wednesday night in Perth. Go at them for the word goal and win the game in the first half if we can, put it to bed, and then start looking forward to Motherwell during the week. Hamilton are sitting 11th just now. They've had 2 wins for their last 5 games. Obviously, been in the news quite a bit this week with Brian Rice. I think suspension starts for this game tomorrow, so I think it's maybe the assistant manager that's going to take charge of Hamilton. In terms of the team, for us, I'm struggling. I couldn't tell you last time I got one of these right, but to be fair, we've not played the same system for 2 games in a row since we came back from the break. So, in goals, Fraser Foster, at least that's one that I know I'm definitely getting right every week. Right back, we seen the 3-5-2 obviously against St Johnstone. I thought it looked really good in the first half, as I've said. We had Jozo on the right side of the centre half, Forrest almost playing as a wing back, but because of the way we played in the first half, he was able to play so far up the pitch. Taylor on the other side, who was terrific. Jozo came off at half time, obviously. Bauer came into the game. He was really poor, Moritz Bauer. I said in the build up to the St Johnstone game, I thought he would start at right back because I thought we were maybe going to go with 4-2-3-1 again, but he's just failed to impress us. He's looked really poor. We've seen that again during the week, but because we don't have enough centre halves, I think if Jozo came off at half time because they're monitoring an injury situation with him, I don't think he's going to start this game on a plastic pitch. So we need to go back to the 4, and once again, El Ahmed, Frimpong are still injured. So Bauer at right back, centre half, Julian and Aya. As I say, Jozo out, Beaton out, no centre halves purchased or brought in on loan either. I'm going to do a short transfer window reaction and a separate video. I've put it off because I honest to God can't be arsed talking about transfers. I'm so disillusioned with the whole process. We should have got a centre half in. If we want to play 3-5-2 going forward, how can we expect to do that when we've only got 3 fit centre halves, and one of them, Jozo Simunovic, is just back for a long-term injury. So on Sunday, I expect it to be Julian and Aya. At left back, as I touched on already, Greg Taylor, who I thought was man of the match the other night. I thought he was absolutely superb. We've been crying out to see him in the team. Okay, at times when he has played, some people have thought he maybe doesn't look the finished article, but I thought on Wednesday night he was absolutely brilliant, and he looked like he's determined to win his place in the team and keep his place in the team. We've heard from Neil Lennon this week that Bolingoli is just having time out of the squad to recapture his form. So in other words, he's been dropped because of poor performances. So Greg Taylor has this opportunity now. He started the last game against Hamilton at Celtic Park. I expect him to start tomorrow, and hopefully he can keep that form up for Wednesday night, get a run in the team, and there's absolutely no reason why he can't and shouldn't be number 1 left back going forward. In the midfield, the usual combination of Scott Brown and Callum McGregor. Callum McGregor again absolutely superb on Wednesday night, particularly in the first half. He is one who just goes under the radar, so consistent, 8 out of 10 every week, absolutely superb. In front of them, Olivier Ncham, who was linked with West Ham during the week, nothing came of it. I thought he was brilliant in the first half as well. He scored that brilliant header. That first goal was absolutely terrific. The build up into the centre of the park, the wee 1-2 between Griffiths and Edouard, out wide to Forrest, a wonderful cross and a bullet header for Ncham. It was absolutely terrific. So I expect Ncham to continue in front of Brown and McGregor. We come to another position in the team now that we should have strengthened in the window. Right wing, we don't have any right wingers. We can't even consider Sved and Arzani to be potential players to start games because it's just not going to happen. Let's be honest, let's face the reality. They're not first team players. They've been here. Okay, Arzani's been out with injuries. Shved just isn't making any sort of impact. There must be something wrong there. So we can't even consider those two as realistic first team players. So we've got one fit winger at the minute, and it's James Forrest. Johnstone looks sidelined for a few months with this knee injury he picked up on Wednesday night. El Yunusi's out. He is coming back to training this week, I think, El Yunusi, but he's been out for so long. We rushed him back and it set him back. We've only got him for a year on loan. He spent 3 or 4 months of that time injured now. So we've only got James Forrest. I think we're going to see Ryan Christie come back into the team and play on the right hand side, because that is all the options that we've got really. We're not going to start Shved, we're not going to start Arzani. So because we don't have 3 centre halves, by the way, we can't play 2 up front either, it looks like. But that's the conundrum we've left ourselves with. So I'm just guessing how we're going to set up here. Christie back in the team on the right hand side. I thought we would see him on Wednesday night, we didn't. We seen in Cham, and to be fair to Cham, he played absolutely brilliantly, as I've said already. So I think Christie will come in on the right hand side, because as I said, we don't have any options there. And Forrest will have to go over to the left hand side. I thought James Forrest looked much better on Wednesday night. As I said, the crossfire in Cham's header was top class. He got a good goal himself. Although St Johnstone all over the place defensively in the first half. Great finish from him. Hopefully we'll see more of that. We know that if he has to go to the left hand side, then it diminishes his real quality. It's not his natural position. We've seen it so many times this season already. He doesn't really hit the heights that he can on the right hand side when he plays on the left. But as I said, we've left ourselves in this conundrum where we don't have any fit left wingers, and Forrest will have to go to the left hand side tomorrow. At least I think that's what's going to have to happen. Up top, Odsonne Edouard. I do expect him to start. I thought he might have came off earlier on Wednesday night against St Johnstone. Bauer obviously had to come on because Simunovic went off injured, so I do think Edouard will start this game. There's 1 or 2 heavy tackles on him and you hold your breath every time he goes down, but I do expect Edouard to start. Lee Griffiths has actually got a great record against Hamilton. He scored 9 goals in his last 11 appearances against them. But if we have to play the 4-2-3-1, I expect us to start with Edouard and then see Griffiths later on in the game. That's the team I've went with for tomorrow. Like the video, comment with your own thoughts below. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you tomorrow in Hamilton for all of the full-time reaction, and then the post-match pint from Malone's after the game. Cheers.